Have you ever seen someone in their 90s walking with ease, standing tall, no cane, no walker, and wondered, how is that even possible at their age? It stops you in your tracks. You can't help but think about your own body, about your legs, your balance, the way stairs seem steeper than they used to, or how getting out of a chair feels like lifting more than just yourself. It feels like lifting the years too. Meanwhile, you've probably seen others, people 20 years younger, struggling to move from the couch to the kitchen, leaning on furniture to balance, avoiding the stairs completely. And you wonder, how does that happen so fast? That's the thing about aging. It doesn't knock on the door loudly. It creeps in, quietly, slowly. At first, your legs just feel tired, a bit heavier maybe. Then you start holding onto the railing, just in case. You notice you can't move as fast when someone calls your name. You start to avoid walks that you once loved. Not because you're lazy, but because deep down, you're afraid of falling. And here's the part most people don't talk about. Falls don't usually happen out of the blue. They happen after years of subtle changes, tiny shifts in strength, stability, and confidence. By the time you notice, it can feel like too much has already been lost. But here's what may surprise you. According to national health data, 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 falls each year. And for many, that fall becomes a turning point. Not just a bruise or a break, but the beginning of losing independence. So now comes the real question. What if it's not just aging? What if there's something happening inside your body? Something you've never been told to look for? A quiet, invisible deficiency that's been silently draining your strength? What if there's one essential nutrient that plays a bigger role in leg strength, balance, and freedom than anyone has ever explained to you? Something that, if restored, could help you feel more stable, more secure, and more confident every time you take a step. Today, you're going to find out exactly what that is. You'll understand why it matters so much for people just like you, especially if you're over 60. And most importantly, you'll learn how to protect yourself, how to take back control, and how to stay strong even at 70, 80, or yes, 94. So take a deep breath, friend. This is not the end of the road. It may just be the start of something stronger. Ready? Let's uncover the truth together. The real problem, why it matters. I used to garden every morning, she said softly. But now, I'm afraid to stand too long. My legs don't feel like they used to. It's like they forgot how to hold me up. And just like that, life starts shrinking. You stop reaching for what you love because part of you is quietly afraid, not of aging, but of falling, of hurting, of not being able to get back up again. But what if the real danger isn't just getting older? What if there's something more subtle, more silent, and more dangerous going on? There is. It's called sarcopenia. It sounds clinical, but it's painfully personal. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, and it's not rare. In fact, more than half of adults over 80 already live with it. But the worst part? Most never even knew it had a name, or that it was happening. You don't feel it all at once. It slips in little by little. When your legs feel heavy just walking across the room. When the stairs seem steeper than you remember. When getting off the couch takes 2 tries instead of 1. At first you think, maybe I'm just tired today. But then it keeps happening. You stop walking as far. You sit more. You slow down. And that's when the spiral starts. Because here's what sarcopenia steals from you. Quietly, steadily, and without asking. It starts with strength. Then it takes your balance. After that, it chips away at your confidence. You move less, so your body weakens faster. The legs lose tone, your core loses control, and even a quick turn can feel like a risk. What comes next? For many, it's the fall. And for over 300,000 older adults in the US each year, that fall leads to a hospital bed, surgery, rehab, sometimes even the loss of independence altogether. This is what we call mobility bankruptcy. The moment when your body can no longer pay the price of everyday life. Not because you didn't try, but because no one warned you the account was being drained behind the scenes. Now you might wonder, why does this happen? Why do some people in their 90s walk steady and proud while others in their 60s struggle to stand? It's a mix of things: natural aging, hormonal changes, inflammation, a lack of resistance movement. But one of the most overlooked reasons, nutrient loss, especially the ones that fuel and protect your muscles. As we get older, our bodies absorb and produce certain nutrients less efficiently. And without those, your muscles don't just weaken, they unravel. The most frustrating part? This isn't inevitable. Muscle loss is not something you have to accept as part of aging. It's a crisis that can be prevented, delayed, even reversed if you catch it in time. But here's the truth that hurts. Most seniors don't lose mobility because of trauma or disease. They lose it slowly, silently, day by day, because no one told them what to watch for, and no one taught them how to fight back. So take a moment and think. Have you noticed your legs feeling a little off lately? Are stairs more of a challenge than they were just a year ago? Does your balance feel shakier when you walk across the room? You're not alone, and you're not imagining it. But what if there was one simple thing that could change that story? What if just one missing vitamin could stop the spiral before it's too late? The vital link. The power of vitamin D. The overlooked but essential vitamin that keeps your legs strong, even at 94, is vitamin D. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just for bones? That's what most people believe. But the truth is, vitamin D is so much more than a bone builder. It's a powerful guardian of your muscles, your coordination, and your ability to stay on your feet. It's the missing piece of the puzzle, the link nobody talks about when it comes to staying strong and independent after 60. Here's what's really happening inside your body. Vitamin D plays a key role in how your body absorbs and uses calcium, not just for bone density, but for muscle movement and nerve signaling too. It supports something called neuromuscular function, which is your body's ability to send the right signals from your brain to your muscles and back again. Without enough vitamin D, those signals get fuzzy. Muscles don't contract the way they should. Reaction time slow. Your balance becomes less steady. Your fast twitch muscle fibers, the ones that help you catch yourself if you start to stumble, become less responsive. You might feel like your body is slowing down, but it's not just age. It could be vitamin D, or rather the lack of it. Let's make this really clear. Low vitamin D equals sign poor calcium absorption. Poor calcium absorption equals sign weak bones and soft muscles. Weak bones and soft muscles equal sign higher risk of falling, slower recovery, more fear when you move, even if you're eating a healthy diet, even if you're staying active. If your body is low on vitamin D, you're building strength on a fragile foundation. And the numbers back this up. A large study published by the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who took vitamin D supplements had a 23% lower risk of falls. That's not a small difference. It's a real life-changing shift. Another study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology showed that older adults with low vitamin D levels had noticeably weaker leg muscles and walked more slowly. That's the kind of slowdown that sneaks up on you. Until one day you hesitate, you miss a step, and everything changes. And for women over 65, a study from the New England Journal of Medicine revealed that taking vitamin D lowered the risk of hip fractures by 22%. That's a number that could mean the difference between staying at home or moving into long-term care. This is the part that matters most. It's not your willpower that's fading. It's not that you aren't trying hard enough. It might be your vitamin D. You see, your body naturally produces vitamin D from sunlight, but that ability drops significantly as you age. After 60, your skin doesn't convert sunshine into vitamin D the way it used to. Even if you're spending time outdoors, your levels might still be too low to protect your muscles. And as you now know, vitamin D isn't optional, it's critical. Especially if you want to keep walking, keep gardening, keep dancing, or simply stay in charge of your own life. So let's pause for a second. Take a breath. Can you feel what this means for you? Because this isn't just about avoiding a fall, it's about protecting your strength, your rhythm, your confidence, your independence. This one nutrient, this simple, often forgotten vitamin, could be the very thing standing between you and the slow loss of freedom so many people face in their later years. And that leads us to a powerful question. How do you know if you're low on vitamin D? And what can you do about it? Let's find out together. Yes, smart solutions, safe pairings, and senior-friendly strategies. Now that you know what's silently draining your strength, it's time to shift gears. Let's talk about what you can actually do, starting today, to protect your muscles, improve your balance, and stay strong for the years ahead. This isn't about hype, it's about hope. And it starts with 5 real-life steps that anyone can follow, even if you're 70, 80, or beyond. And here's something to remember. Every single small step counts. You don't need to do everything perfectly, you just need to start. So let's begin, gently, clearly, one step at a time. First, we begin with nature's original gift. 1. Get more sunlight. The natural D source. One of the easiest ways to increase your vitamin D levels is simply to step outside. Try to spend about 20 to 30 minutes in direct sunlight 3 to 4 times per week. The best time? Late morning to early afternoon, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., when the sun's rays are strongest for vitamin D production. Expose your arms and legs if you can. Even just sitting on your porch, taking a walk around the block, or gardening a bit in the yard makes a difference. But here's what most people don't realize. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. That means even if you're outside, you might not be producing enough. And if you live in a cloudy area, or it's winter where you are, your vitamin D levels may drop even further. That's where vitamin D lamps can help. These special lamps mimic the UVB rays from the sun and can gently encourage your body to produce more vitamin D, safely and at home. Now let's talk about what's on your plate. 2. Eat vitamin D-rich foods. Build a solid base. Your body doesn't just rely on sunlight. It also needs the right foods. Fatty fish is one of the best sources. Just 3.5 ounces of salmon can give you around 570 IU of vitamin D, almost your full daily need. Other great options? Sardines, mackerel, and tuna. Not a fish lover? No worries. Try adding egg yolks to your meals. Each one contains around 40 IU of vitamin D. Many dairy products are fortified too. Milk, cheese, yogurt. And if you're plant-based, almond milk, soy milk, and oat milk often come fortified as well. Here's a bonus most people don't know. Mushrooms. When they're exposed to sunlight, they naturally produce vitamin D, just like us. But here's the truth. Diet alone is rarely enough to maintain healthy vitamin D levels, especially after 60, which brings us to the next important step. 3. Supplement wisely. D3, not just any D. This is where most seniors go wrong, not because they don't try, but because no one taught them how to do it right. If you're between 50 and 70, experts recommend about 600 IU per day. If you're over 70, your body needs more. Around 800 to 2,000 IU daily depending on your current levels and doctor's guidance. And here's something crucial. Choose vitamin D3, also called cholecalciferol, not D2. D3 is far more effective at raising and maintaining your levels. Even more important, always take it with a meal that includes healthy fats, like avocado, olive oil, or a handful of nuts. Why? Because vitamin D is fat-soluble. That means it needs dietary fat to be absorbed properly into your body. This one small habit, taking your supplement with the right meal, can double your absorption rate. But wait, there's something else your body needs in order to use that D3 correctly. 4. Pair with magnesium. The missing key. Magnesium is the hidden partner that activates vitamin D in your body. Without it, even if you're getting enough D3 from sun or supplements, your body might not be using it effectively. Let that sink in for a moment. It's not just about what you take, it's about what your body can actually process. So where do you get magnesium? Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are great. So are almonds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and whole grains like brown rice and oats. If your appetite is smaller or your diet is limited, a magnesium supplement may help. But again, always check with your doctor first. And now, one more critical step. 5. Get tested and track your progress. The only way to know if you're getting enough vitamin D and magnesium is to test. Ask your healthcare provider for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. It's simple, accurate, and gives you a clear picture of your current status. Most experts recommend keeping your levels between 30 and 50 nanograms per milliliter, though your doctor may tailor this to your health history and needs. Once you begin making changes, whether with food, supplements, or sunlight, recheck your levels every 6 to 12 months. This helps you stay on track and adjust your plan as needed. This isn't just guesswork. This is personalized, senior-friendly health at its best. Let's pause here for a moment and ask a gentle question. Are you covering all 5? Here's your quick self-check. I get outside for sunlight 3 to 4 times a week. I eat 2 to 3 vitamin D-rich foods each week. I take D3 with a fat-containing meal. I get enough magnesium through food or supplements. I've tested my vitamin D levels in the past 6 months. If you said yes to most of those, you're already making powerful progress. If not, now you know exactly where to start. You may be wondering, how soon can you expect to feel a difference? Let's explore that together in the next section. Because when it comes to strength and stability, it's not just what you do, It's when you do it and how consistently you show up for your body. Let's keep going. You're doing great. V. The recovery timeline. When you'll feel the difference. Let's take a breath here, because this is the part you've been waiting for. The part that brings everything together and answers the question every senior wants to ask. When will I feel a difference? Now listen closely, because what you're about to hear is not a promise. It's a pathway, a roadmap back to strength, confidence, and freedom. No gimmicks, no overnight magic, just biology doing what it was designed to do. Once you give it what it needs, this is not a miracle. This is your body healing. When it finally has the right tools, let's walk through it together, week by week, step by step. Week 1 to 2, this is where the quiet work begins. Maybe you've started taking a high-quality D3 supplement. Maybe you've added a few walks in the sun or a handful of greens to your plate. At first, the shifts are subtle, but then something surprising happens. You wake up in the middle of the night and notice your leg cramps aren't there. The tension in your calves, the aching behind your knees, it's eased. You move around during the day and realize you're not as stiff as you were last week. There's a bit more spring in your step, a bit more life in your legs. And the fatigue that used to wrap around your afternoons like a heavy coat, it's starting to lift. You may not shout it out loud, but inside something is changing, and you can feel it. Your body is quietly restoring. Don't stop now. Week 3 to 4. This is where confidence starts to return. You're standing up from chairs without pushing yourself up as hard. You notice it takes less time to get moving in the morning. Your legs feel firmer, steadier, more connected to you. You head toward the stairs and pause, not out of fear, but out of habit. This time you climb them and it feels okay, not perfect, but possible. You're walking with more balance, fewer moments of hesitation, fewer times you have to reach for the wall or steady yourself when turning a corner. What once felt tiring now feels doable. Month 2 to 3, this is where transformation becomes visible. You're walking farther without needing a break. Your gait, your natural walking pattern, has become smoother, more stable. You're catching yourself faster if you lose your footing. Your reaction time improves. Your posture improves. And with that, your mindset shifts too. The little wins stack up, and they turn into something powerful. Your joints ache less. The sharp pain in your lower back softens. That stiffness in your hips begins to melt. Your energy climbs, and so does your spirit. You catch yourself smiling after a walk. You walk past the mirror, and don't just see yourself. You see potential, progress, possibility. Independence feels within reach again. And that's not just a feeling, it's science. Studies show that when seniors maintain healthy vitamin D levels consistently for 3 to 6 months, they see incredible results. A 31% reduction in falls, a 35% increase in leg muscle strength, a 40% lower risk of fractures. Let those numbers sink in. Because behind each one is a person like you, someone who decided not to wait for a fall to take action. Now here's what you need to know. Vitamin D is not a quick fix. It's a long-term investment in freedom. It takes consistency. But the payoff? The ability to move with confidence, walk without fear, and live the life you want on your terms. So don't stop once you start. Keep showing up for your body every day. Keep nourishing it. Keep supplementing wisely. Keep checking your levels every 6 to 12 months to make sure you're on track. And pair all of this with movement, sunshine, and magnesium, so every bit of vitamin D you take actually gets to work. You've made it this far, and the best part is still ahead. Now that you understand the impact, let's talk about your next steps, because knowledge means nothing if we don't act on it. Let's finish strong. Final message, call to action and viewer engagement. If you've made it this far, it means you care deeply about your health, and that matters more than you know. You've lived through storms, you've raised families, worked hard, faced losses, adapted to change, and held your ground through a lifetime of challenges. And now here you are, still searching, still learning, still fighting for the life you deserve. That takes courage, that takes heart, and that should never be underestimated. But let me remind you of something important. Your story isn't over, not even close. And your legs shouldn't be the thing that stops you from living it fully. Don't wait for the fall. Don't wait for the moment when you're forced to slow down or give something up. You already know what's at stake. You felt it. Maybe in your knees, maybe in your balance, maybe in the voice in your head that says, be careful. But deep down, you also know this. You deserve strength. You deserve freedom. And you can still have both, starting right now. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting your independence, your pride, your ability to move through the world with confidence. So take the next small step. If this video spoke to you, if something inside you said, "That's me," then don't let that feeling pass. Let us know you're here. Type a simple "I'm in" or tell us how you're feeling. Share one thing you're going to do differently after watching this. It could be the very comment that helps someone else take action too. And if you want more real, practical, empowering content like this, subscribe. Join this growing community of seniors who are rewriting the rules on aging, with strength, with wisdom, and with heart. Is there someone in your life who needs to hear this? A friend, a neighbor, a parent? Send this to them. You might just change their life or help them take back control of it. Now, before we close, I have one final question for you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to put into action? Drop it in the comments. We're not just sharing facts here. We're building a circle of support, a space where seniors can be strong together, because you are not alone, and this journey, it's just getting started.